Messi for sure.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the 4 greatest players in the history of 10 different sports, considering accolades, skill level, and the era they played in. From these, we will select the GOAT for each sport.
He's the greatest quarterback that's ever played the game.
Cricket: Shane Warne, Garfield Sobers, Don Bradman, Sachin Tendulkar. A 100-member panel of cricket experts selected Shane Warne as one of the 5 best cricket players of the 20th century.
When he was at the end of his run and he was spinning that ball from one hand into the other, and he was staring you down in a packed crowd at Lord's or the MCG or wherever, it was absolutely box office stuff.
Warne was a top-notch bowler who had the legs spin down to a science. Another cricketing legend, Garfield Sobers, was a unique talent known for his exceptional batting, fielding, and all-around skills. Sobers was truly Mr. Do-It-All, and there's an argument that no cricketer in history has been as well-rounded as he was. Don Bradman, aka the Don, who also made the top 5 list for 20th century cricket legends.
He would hit the ball with plenty of power, wonderful timing, and it just never looked like getting out. I mean, he looked as though he could go on and on and on.
Bradman's career batting average remains the highest of all time. He excelled against essentially all types of bowling. However, at the very top of the mountain of cricket icons is Sachin Tendulkar, who scored more runs than any other cricketer in history. Combine that with his record number of Player of the Match awards in international cricket, and he's a worthy choice for cricket's GOAT.
There needs no comparison to Sachin Tendulkar. He is the ultimate cricketer.
Golf: Ben Hogan, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods. One of just 5 golfers to have ever won all 4 majors, Ben Hogan was a true student of the game who had a profound impact on how golf is approached.
Well, this is a beautiful golf course. It's well manicured. It's about 7,000 yards long, and I think we're going to have a wonderful time playing it.
His swing mechanics, ball striking ability, and strategic decision-making paved the way for future greats. Shortly after Hogan's dominant stretch, it was Arnold Palmer's time to shine during a significant growth period for sports broadcasting.
His swashbuckling style not only won tournaments, but the hearts of many worldwide. His hard work, sportsmanship, philanthropy, and dedication became the standard by which today's PGA Tour players conduct themselves.
Between 1958 and 1964, Palmer won 4 Masters tournaments and became a household name, while significantly boosting the sport's popularity. Another golfing giant who had a similar impact around the same time period was Jack Nicklaus, who won his first major in 1962. Over the course of his career, Nicklaus stacked his trophy cabinet with a record 18 major championships. Yet it's the man right behind him on that list who gets our vote for golf's best: Tiger Woods. Tiger is the lowest career scoring average in PGA Tour history and showed an unparalleled ability to close out victories during the late 1990s and 2000s.
Tiger's competitive fire and energy not only launched golf into the modern era, but also sparked a fandom unlike any other.
He brought so much life to the game. He changed how it's played.
Boxing: Sugar Ray Robinson, Joe Louis, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali. Pound for pound, Sugar Ray Robinson absolutely deserves a place on boxing's Mount Rushmore, and some around the sport have called him the best ever.
If someone was able to ask God to mold the greatest prize fighter that you can possibly mold, it would be Sugar Ray Robinson.
In his first 11 years of professional boxing, starting in 1940, Robinson lost just 1 of 132 matches, with 85 knockouts. During that time, Joe Louis was on top of the world in a different weight class than Robinson. Louis's reign as heavyweight champion from 1937 to 1949 is the longest such stretch in the history of boxing. Decades later came another all-time boxing great who was a KO machine and the undisputed world heavyweight champion from 1987 and 1990, Mike Tyson.
I'm gonna beat everybody, plain and simple. Beat everybody.
With Mike, people were going to see somebody get their ass kicked.
And everyone who fought Mike Tyson, they weren't worried about if they were going to win or lose. They were worried about if they're going to come out of there alive.
One of Iron Mike's many achievements was becoming the youngest boxer to ever win a heavyweight title. Edging him out for the boxing GOAT, though, is Muhammad Ali, the only 3-time lineal heavyweight champion. Aptly known as the greatest, he was the greatest showman the sport has ever seen, with the numbers to back up his unrivaled skill.
His life was painted on a canvas larger than most of us can imagine. The heavyweight champion of the world, the conscientious objector, the black Muslim, and in the end, the hero bravely confronting Parkinson's disease as it robbed him of the use of his own body.
Formula One: Juan Manuel Fangio, Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, Lewis Hamilton. During the 1950s, Juan Manuel Fangio dominated Formula One, winning the World Drivers' Championship 5 times with 4 different teams.
When everybody asks me who was the best driver, I say Juan Manuel Fangio.
Fangio has already celebrated success in Europe. Now his being in his home country has become a national affair.
For F1 drivers with at least 15 starts, Fangio possesses the all-time highest winning percentage. Michael Schumacher surpassed Fangio's championship record in 2003, securing his 6th title, and then added a 7th in 2004. Schumacher also tallied a record 77 fastest laps throughout his illustrious career. Another all-time great F1 driver was Ayrton Senna, who built a long list of impressive feats, including 3 championships with McLaren.
How would you like to be remembered?
As a winner.
His career was tragically cut short due to a fatal accident during the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix, but his name is forever etched in the history books. More recently, Lewis Hamilton has driven his way into the record books with the most wins, pole positions, and podium finishes in the history of the sport. Considering that and the fact that in 2020 he equaled Schumacher's record 7 world championships, Hamilton takes first place on the all-time F1 podium.
The World Championship record is equalled. Lewis Hamilton wins the Turkish Grand Prix and is a 7-time champion of the world.
Tennis. Martina Navratilova, Novak Djokovic, Serena Williams, Roger Federer. Martina Navratilova, with a record 9 Wimbledon singles titles and 59 major titles overall, was one of the most prolific tennis players in history.
Nobody won more championships than Martina. It just didn't happen. New standards. Gosh, in singles and doubles and mixed doubles. But you know, those are just numbers. She's the person, and the gods are with her.
In 1983, she won 86 of 87 matches, achieving a historic 98.8% winning percentage for the season. On the men's side, it's hard to match what Novak Djokovic has done. He's won the most Grand Slam men's singles titles and holds the record for the most weeks ranked as the world's #1 player. During his rise to stardom, Serena Williams was bossing the women's game, and she did it in both singles and doubles.
In a world dominated by 20-somethings, here's a 33-year-old athlete still on top of her game in one of the most physically demanding sports in the world.
A career Golden Slam in singles and doubles is unheard of, but that's what Serena did. However, in a close call for the top spot among tennis's greats, we're going with Roger Federer, who was ranked #1 in the world for men's singles for a record 237 weeks in a row. He displayed extraordinary consistency and versatility, winning a record 8 Wimbledon titles in men's singles.
It cannot be all time. I mean, I've worked hard, and I think it's got to be sort of that fire and ice, and I think I'm more in the part where I love winning, and the other guys are maybe more in the I hate losing bit, you know?
Basketball. Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, Michael Jordan. As the nucleus of the Celtics dynasty during the late 1950s and 1960s, Bill Russell dominated the boards and defense on his way to 11 championships in his 13-year NBA career.
One of the greatest players ever, he blazed trails and broke barriers. Yet for all his accolades, one aspect of his transcendent career stands out. He has more titles to his credit than any other player in NBA history.
He was also a 5-time MVP and 12-time NBA All-Star. In the era that followed, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the king of the center position and made his trademark skyhook an unstoppable art form. The Bucks and Showtime Lakers legend won a record 6 MVPs, made 19 All-Star appearances, and was absolutely dominant on both ends of the floor. When it comes to the best of the best, LeBron James has a strong case.
LeBron James, the defining player of his generation, has done it once again.
The King's longevity is unmatched, with the most NBA All-Star selections and the most points of any player in NBA history. His combination of elite athleticism, passing, scoring, basketball IQ, and durability is unparalleled. However, by the slightest of margins, we're placing Michael Jordan at the top. 5 MVPs and 6 Finals MVPs during 2 three-peats for the Bulls only scratched the surface of MJ's historic greatness.
Get your highlight reels rolling. Number 23's in the house.
Baseball. Ted Williams, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Babe Ruth. If you have any of these guys' baseball cards, good for you. Ted Williams was the last guy to have a 400-plus batting average in a season.
When they say the toughest thing in the sport to do is to take a round bat and hit a round ball squarely, Ted Williams did that better than anyone who ever played the game.
The Boston Red Sox legend, whose career spanned from 1939 to 1960, got on base at a better rate than anyone ever. Then there was Hammerin' Hank Aaron, who remains atop the list of players with the most runs batted in and the most All-Star selections. Not only did he swing the bat brilliantly, but he also held it down in the outfield, winning 3 Golden Glove awards.
I studied the game very much. I could tell you at the end of the season, if I hit 40 home runs, who I hit those 40 home runs off of.
And here is Henry Aaron. This crowd is up all around. He's sitting on 714.
During that same era, outfielder Willie Mays won 12 consecutive Gold Gloves, a run that started a few seasons after his all-time famous catch at the 1954 World Series. Offensively, he was a machine as well. However, it's an older player who gets the nod for baseball GOAT, Babe Ruth. The great Bambino was a slugger of the highest order. He remains at the top of the list or near the top of the list of essentially every major hitting category.
His legacy is that he is baseball. He is the human symbol of baseball. And I think that's no small legacy.
Football. Lawrence Taylor, Jim Brown, Jerry Rice, Tom Brady. When it comes to defense in the NFL, Lawrence Taylor was next level. LT remains the only rookie to have ever won NFL Defensive Player of the Year, and one of just 2 defensive players to ever win an MVP.
Lawrence Taylor comes on the scene, and we've never seen anybody that ferocious, that talented.
Once he gets the quarterback in his sights, he's going to get him.
The last defensive football player to win the Most Valuable Player award.
On the offensive side of the ball, in an era before Taylor, Jim Brown was a nightmare for opposing defenses. He led the league in rushing 8 of the 9 seasons he played and holds the record for the highest career rushing yards per game among qualified players. At the wide receiver position, it's Jerry Rice at the top.
It's one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences.
And Rice made an incredible catch!
The greatest receiver of all time. He may have been the greatest football player of all time.
He stands alone at the pinnacle of National Football League history.
The 49ers legend is the all-time leader in NFL career receptions, receiving yards, and touchdown catches. Finally, at the most important position in football, we list our GOAT, quarterback Tom Brady, with the most career passing yards, touchdown passes, and wins by a player. The 7-time Super Bowl champion dissected defenses and led his team to victory like no other.
There will never be another one of him that could just stand up there upright and just carve you up. The way that he does is spectacular.
He's etched in history as the greatest quarterbacks.
Hockey. Sidney Crosby, Bobby Orr, Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky. From the jump, Sidney Crosby showcased his stardom, becoming the youngest player to record 100 points in a season and the youngest player to lead the NHL in points in a season.
Oh, slap me silly, Sidney! Welcome to the Crosby Show, Sidney Crosby! Absolutely off the charts!
Since he's gone on to tally double-digit All-Star Game appearances. Another iconic player who led the league in points before Crosby's time was defenseman Bobby Orr. He's the only defenseman to have ever done that, and he did it twice. Several years after Orr retired, Mario Lemieux started his journey to become an all-time hockey great.
I've only played for one franchise. Pittsburgh is my home. I know I'm going to be here for a long, long time.
Super Mario led the NHL in points 6 times during the 1980s and 1990s and tallied 12 All-Star appearances by the end of his career. But the best on the all-time NHL Mount Rushmore is Wayne Gretzky, whose combination of hockey IQ, creativity, vision, and playmaking redefined the sport. The great one is the all-time leader in both goals and assists and holds dozens of other records as well.
Wayne Gretzky, the great one, transcended accolades achieved on the ice to become a cultural icon with an immeasurable impact on hockey.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Soccer. Cristiano Ronaldo, Diego Maradona, Pele, Lionel Messi. With the most Champions League goals and most international goals in soccer history, Cristiano Ronaldo mastered goal scoring.
Ronaldo's coming in, it's an awkward one for him, he's got it! The breakthrough has come with 15 minutes to go!
He's thrived for many years, most notably at Real Madrid, where he won 4 Champions League titles. Well, before then, there was the great Diego Maradona, who was an absolute maestro on the pitch. Maradona led Argentina to victory in the 1986 World Cup and was named the tournament's best player. He and Brazilian legend Pele were named co-winners of the FIFA Player of the Century award. Pele also dazzled in an attacking role, averaging almost a goal a game for Brazil and Santos.
Pelé, real name Edson Arantes do Nascimento, is widely regarded as one of the greatest ever exponents of the sport. He helped become known as the beautiful game.
At just 17, he scored in every knockout game en route to his first of 3 World Cup titles. But the title of GOAT belongs to Lionel Messi, who boasts the most extensive list of individual and team awards in soccer history. Beyond accolades, the Argentina and Barcelona legend has consistently delivered otherworldly magic on the pitch, executing countless brilliant dribbles, passes, and shots that few others would dare attempt, let alone pull off.
Of course, Lionel Messi, the man for all moments. For many on planet football, the number one, the man.
What sports legend do you wish you could have seen live? Let us know in the comments.
If that's the last image of Michael Jordan, how magnificent is it?
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.